This is Hara 1 by Yasha Allah of the Lions Den Camp. I want to say Kal Halayim, La Yahweh, by Hashem Hawashai, by Hashem Harakakadash Ma'amath. Double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and their elders. And Shalom to you, Akim, and Akwatim and children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth. This is another prophecy update. The times to come in the midst of a failing economy and a falling kingdom that we know as what? The daughter of Babylon, which they call America, which was established by whom we know as Edomites or Esau. Their kingdom is falling behind the daughter of Babylon, America. All right, so with that comes what? Calamity, war, pestilence, plagues, famine, All right, so food shortage, basically. And that's the element that I want to focus on today. And all of these are forms of judgment from the Most High Yahweh. All right, so this is from the World Food Program. And it says, saving lives, changing lives, a global food crisis. All right. It says conflict, economic shocks, climate extremes, and soaring fertilizer prices are combining to create a food crisis. All right. So conflict with the wars, which sets up sanctions, like with Russia, especially. Economic shocks, where they raising the interest rates, or the black swan event that they're anticipating to happen to the economy, to the market. Climate extremes, that's when you have drought. All right, extreme heat that kills the animals, cattle, or floods. And soaring fertilizer prices, that's called what? Hyperinflation. And also people like Bill Gates, that's cornering the market, raising the prices on seeds and charging these farms to buy it from what I think Monsanto, if I'm not mistaken. And they're forcing these farms to buy their seeds, their products from these corporations. And their own seeds that they grow, they have to destroy it. So it says here, fertilizer prices, man. And fertilizer is what they need to grow their crops, and the prices are too high. That's the thing, man. That is the form. That is a true sign of an economic demise of a certain community or a kingdom. When you see in one area you have a nice suburb neighborhood, but you go right across the street, it'll be a ghetto. That's because the economy is failing. You can have the rich and the poor living right across the street from each other. And also another sign is not that we'll see the market demise immediately, but what you'll see is not even at the shelves yet, but you'll hear about things that we're not really privy to, like machinery or fertilizer, things that you probably don't care, they don't have nothing to do with me, certain machine parts that they need. All of these things are skyrocketing through hyperinflation, and people don't even see it. That's what the Lord said is going to happen as a thief in the night, unexpectedly, man. And as so even soaring fertilizer prices are combining to create a food crisis of unprecedented proportions. As many as 828 million people are unsure of where their next meal is coming from. And we have a choice. Act now to save lives and invest in solutions that secure food security, stability, and peace for all. Or see people around the world facing rising hunger. And that's what's going to happen. It's going to be world hunger, and it's definitely going to hit America. All right. And it's definitely done intentionally. 2023, another year of extreme jeopardy. Man, this is 2023 right now. For those struggling to feed their families. The scale of the current global hunger and malnutrition crisis is enormous, with an expected 345.2 million people projected to be food insecure. All right, so food insecurity, that's the stage that we're at right now, food insecurity. More than double the number in 2020, so it done doubled the number of families and households that go nights without eating or just in poverty, man. Not sure where the next meal is going to come from. All right. This constitutes a staggering rise of 200 million people compared to the lockdowns, pandemic levels. More than 900,000, and you see what they did during the lockdown. They started dumping milk, trash, and everything, man. That played a major part as well in the food insecurity today. This is 10 times more than 5 years ago, an alarming rapid increase. An immediate response is needed. See, order out of chaos. They create the chaos and then claim to bring the order. Now you have people like Bill Gates creating forever chemicals. That's in even the orange juice today, man. Things that don't break down. You know, you have the, we call it fake meat that he's making. All right, out of some damn white blubber that he created, and they using that. They say they're gonna be able to make chicken from it and beef. Forever chemicals. You know, in China they got fake steaks that they make out of poop. They found a way to manipulate feces and turn it into meat that they can eat. Now, all these things are being approved by the FDA. All right. Now, the global community must not fail on its promise to end the hunger and malnutrition by 2030. See, that's the global mindset. Is that they want to bring in their new world order, have it complete by 2030. We're seeing them trying to usher it in now, filling their belly, laying the table out, and they're about to fill their belly. And they want it to be complete by 2030, so they're moving now to bring that to pass, but it's not, the Lord's not going to let them complete it. All right. Now he said their hands are not going to be able to perform their enterprise. It says WFP is facing multiple challenges. The number of acutely hungry people continues to increase at a pace that funding is unlikely to match. I mean, it don't matter how much money they put into it. These people are consumers out here. They want to eat fast food. They done got them doped up on fast food and all these sugars, and abominable foods that they eat. Those parasites in their body, they want food. All right, people like to eat. But some like to eat too much. It says while the cost of delivering food assistance is at an all-time high because food and fuel prices have increased, man, thanks to the wars and people like the Biden administration that's pushing for the globalists. Unmet needs heighten the risk of hunger and malnutrition unless the necessary resources are made available. Lost lives and a reversal of hard-earned development gains will be the price to pay. All right, you remember them commercials that used to be on TV over there in Ethiopia, feed the children? Well, that's coming here to the soils of America. And it's already happened in certain areas, man. And in jails and in the ghettos where people don't have any food. They go nights without eating. All right, 2nd Ezra 2:26. As for the servants, 25. Nourish thy children, O thou good nurse. Establish their feet, right? And a good nurse is what? Wisdom. And the men that teach this truth. Our job is to nurse and nourish each other with the word, the scriptures. Man shall not live off bread alone, but out of every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the Father. So his word is able to sustain us even within a famine until the Lord sends help, like he did with Elijah when he sent ravens to feed him meat 3 times a day and led him to water to drink. That's all a man needs to sustain him. All right. It says, "Oh, thou good nurse, establish their feet." All right, we're establishing each other's feet in this truth. As for the servants whom I have given thee, say the Lord gave his servants. All right, and that goes back to before the earth was created first, but it also takes you back to the time of Yahushua, where it says, even with Peter, when he brought in, I think, 3,000 souls into the truth. And it said Yahushua added almost 3,000 souls into the camps that day. So who's adding the people into this truth? Yahweh. Through Yahushua, his son. All right. Is bringing brothers into this truth and sisters and children into the truth as Yahweh promised to Yahushua. All right. As for the servants, so now, as for the servants whom I have given thee, so the Lord gave his servants to his sheep. All right. We're sent here to wake up the elect. Making us ministers, servants to serve our people, to minister to them. As for the servants whom I have given thee, there shall not one of them perish, man, not one. And to perish means to ultimately just, die off and be reincarnated, perish. So So the Lord said, what? In them last moments, when you may think you're on your last breath, that's when the Lord can step in and change things. Just like he did with Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, also known as Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, when they were in the furnace of affliction. And that's what starvation is one of the worst ways to die. Watching the body eat itself. All right, and then it gets to a point where the person becomes so malnourished that they can't eat. Or so dehydrated, if they were to eat something instead of drink something, they would die from the dryness. All right, like if you're out in the desert and you're starving and thirsty, if you eat a piece of bread, they're gonna die. They eat a piece of meat, they'll mess around and die. What they need is fluid. All right. But we gotta remember that Yahweh Shai went 40 days and 40 nights without food. Fasting. All right. Now it says here, as for the servants whom I have given thee, so the Lord sent us here to do a job into these bodies today. It says, there shall not one of them perish, meaning you're not gonna be caught up in the destruction out here. You may have to witness it, you may have to go through some affliction and a test, but at the end, ultimately, on the other side of the wall, there's deliverance. But we have to get up to that wall. And getting close to the door is gonna we gotta go through affliction and adversity. For I will require them from among thy number. So the Lord knows he sent us out here into the world, and he's also gonna call us out of the world, bring us out, take care of us, equipped us while we're here. All right, he's not gonna leave us stranded, like America has done to a lot of their army. Send them overseas on a battle mission, on a recon, and they leave them hanging, like with Hillary Clinton. All right, they'll leave them out there, but not Yahweh, not Yahweh Shai. All right, he said, since he went on the right hand of the Father, he sends us into the world, not to be of the world, but to change the world of Israel, the elect. Now, the Lord said, what? For I will require them from among thy number. He's going to require for us. That goes with Ezekiel chapter 1. And also with the Spirit searching out as with a candle. And he's going to send his angels to gather his elect. All those that have the Tawah, the mark of exemption. The Lord knows where we're at. Be not weary. So he said, what? He's going to number 2/3 with the wicked. But the Lord said he's going to require the elect from among the number. The servants, man. From among the people. That means what? Church to be. All right? So to be called out. Be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, so it's coming. So the Lord saying, don't be weary in what? Believing in your faith and doing this work. Don't be weary. He said, because when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, so the day of trouble, Jacob's trouble, and heaviness. All right. Others shall weep and be sorrowful. They're going to be stuck in this hell upon earth. And they're going to weep, meaning they're going to weeping deals with loss. All right, losing limbs, losing family members, losing food, losing their homes. And that's where their weeping is going to come in at. Confusion. and they're going to be sorrowful. But thou shalt be merry and have abundance. See, merry deals with joy or shock from the manifestation of the Lord's power here in the earth, or blessings, or being covered or protected from some danger. That's where the merriness is going to come in at, or seeing your brothers and you see the prophecies happening and the Lord protecting y'all, or you got food, or you're being sustained and you don't know how when you don't even have any food. It's through the Lord's power. All right, so that's where the merriness is going to come in at, so that we're going to get our reward. We just got to hang in there and keep pushing, keep believing, keep shaking off the dust. The heathen shall envy thee. So they're going to envy. They're going to see you being taken care of. They're going to see you have food, while everybody lined up at these grocery stores, getting MOTB'd or getting scanned. Others are going to trust in Yahweh Shem Yahushai at really now and at that point, where you say we're going to go to the heathen for the want of all things, but now we're in the time where the Lord said we shall no longer stay upon him that smote us, and that's the persecutor, the oppressor, Esau. All right, now we've been reminded of who truly takes care of us and who truly has the power, and the one that gave Esau their power. All right, so the heathens are going to envy us, and 2/3 are counted as heathens as well. So they're going to envy, meaning what? They want to look at the word envy. All right, this is the etymology of the word envy, and it says jealousy. So they're going to be jealous. All right, right now they want to make you jealous. That's why the Lord said, envy not the oppressor. Don't envy them, man. You go into the suburbs or different areas, they try to give you that look like you're not supposed to be there, when we know they're not supposed to be here. All right. Or with these entertainment where they prop up all these devil worshiping jakes and give them millions of dollars, trying to make the common man or woman or a righteous man, they trying to make them envy these devil worshipers or Christians at these churches, or police or military. Always trying to make you envy. Join the army, be all you can be. Other than that, you're not being all you can be. All that is to make a person jealous or envy. The Lord said, envy not the oppressor, man. Don't envy them and choose none of their ways. They're going to envy us. We just got to keep pushing. Once we step our toe over that line, the finish line, this is a pinky toe, their ass is done. All right, to envy, to hate. So they're gonna hate us, man. They ain't gonna be happy. They're gonna hate you. When the Lord taking care of you, they're gonna hate you even more, man. Look at with malice. So they're gonna look at you with like malice. Wow. Cast an evil eye upon. All right, so they're gonna send their militaries, their police, these jakes, these gang members, all right, your neighbor. They all gonna be looking at you with malice and hatred. You feel it today. You can feel it, the tension. They see you walking up the street in joy or that light upon you, and these devils get mad. You see your own people, they look at you with hatred. Not everybody, but I'm just saying, I'm sure a lot of people in this truth can relate. But it's gonna get worse. The Lord said, what? Thy eyes shall see thy teachers. And the light, a light that's upon the hill cannot be, a light that is set upon the hill cannot be hid. So we're shining that light, and as the Lord told us to, He wants you to be exposed. All right, in a good way. All right, this is Song of Solomon 2:10. My beloved spake and said unto me, so this is what Yahweh is saying unto us right now. Rise up, my love, my fair one, and come away. All right, so keep our minds out of this place. And us rising up is getting prepared for a departure. All right. So rise up, put on thy beautiful garments, shake thyself from the dust. For lo, the winter is past, the rain is over and gone, man. So time of our captivity is ending. You know, it's high time to awake out of sleep. It's time for the sun to appear. Springtime. The winter is past, the rain is gone. That leaves what? That's time for the elect to grow. That goes with Revelations 11. People are like, nah, man, we got to stay in our captivity and just, that's it. Nah, you can bring your mind out of this place. All right. The flowers appear on the earth, see? Now, but people are like, nah, man, the Lord hate us. Malachi, wherein hast thou loved us, right? But the Lord said, bring your minds out of this place. All right. So the flowers appear on the earth. So the elect are appearing and popping up all over the earth. The time of the singing of the birds has come. That happens in what? Springtime, when it's beautiful outside. And the Lord saying, what? Our kingdom is at hand. And the time of the birds singing, what's that? The elect. The bird is the speckled colored bird, Israel. And the singing is the song that only the elect shall know, which is the truth. And the voice of the turtle is heard in our land. That represents wisdom being declared amongst our people. And patience. The fig tree putteth forth her green figs. That's prophecy. The prophecy is budding and being put forth. And the vines with the tender grape give a good smell. Arise, my love, my fair one, and come away. The Lord saying, now is the time to wake out of sleep. Now is the time of our deliverance. Now the elect are upon the earth singing the songs of truth, calling on the name of the Lord, popping up as grass, upon the earth, calling ourselves Israelites. Oh, my dove, that art in the clefts of the rocks. See, we're scattered all around the world, in the ghettos, everywhere. But the Lord knows exactly where we are. Each one of us. Nothing can separate us, not even death, from Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Oh, my dove, that art in the clefts of the rocks. So you think the Lord don't see you? He does, man. You got to know it. That the Lord sees you. And if he calls your name out of 1 billion people, or 1 million people, then that makes you important. Other than that, we're just a number amongst the dead, amongst the heathens, amongst humanity. But when the Lord calls you, like he did with Moses in the burning bush, the angel spoke to him. It changed him, took him on a different course, brought him into a new conversation. All right, made him a new creature. The Lord said, oh, my dove, that art in the clefts of the rocks, man. All right, that's what the Lord said. We're going to lift up our voice upon the high mountain, the banner. We're coming out of the clefts of the rocks, climbing to the top of the mountain to give off our SOS and to yell. That art in the clefts of the rocks, in the secret places of the stairs. Let me see thy countenance. The Lord saying, yo, don't hide. Don't hide your beautiful light. The world gonna hate you. They're gonna envy us. But let the Lord see your beautiful countenance. When you're out there teaching, put on that beautiful garments. Let the Lord see you as an Israelite, keeping his laws to the best of your ability. We're not doing this for the world and to entertain people. We're doing this for the audience out in heaven, for the holy angels, for Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai. All right. So let me see thy countenance, man. Let me hear thy voice. That's why we got to continue to speak. The Lord saying, let him hear our voice. For sweet is thy voice, and thy countenance is comely. All right, so yeah, they're gonna envy you for shining your light and stepping out in front of the Lord and having, you say, the virgins that go out to meet him. All right, trimming our lamps. But they're gonna hate you for it. They're gonna hate you even when you're being taken care of and having faith. But in the end, they're gonna say, how is he numbered amongst God's children? We have erred in our ways by not knowing the Lord, right? They don't know the Lord. So be not weary, the 2 Ezra 2:27. Be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful. But thou shalt be merry and have abundance. The heathen will envy thee, so they're going to hate you. They're going to be watching. But they shall be able to do nothing against thee, saith the Lord. That's right, man. This is Isaiah 65:11. But ye are they that forsake Yahweh. See, 2/3 have forsaken Yahweh. And they're counted amongst the heathen. That forget my holy mountain. See, they forget about us. That's why they try to cast us into the corner. But the Lord said, the elect, thy teachers shall not be pushed into a corner anymore. That prepare a table for that troop, and that furnish the drink offering unto that number. So they worship these idols even to this day, as they used to during the times of Isaiah. They were worshiping idols. One named Gad, the other named Many, which goes into that doctrine of destiny or riches, money. So they prepare a table for those idols. And well, they're going to have to eat the fruit of those tables, which goes into what? Destruction. The fruit of their own way. But us, we prepare a table for Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. A table meaning what? Like altars. When you go out and teach and you set up camp, or you do your sit down, you're preparing an altar like Abraham used to. When they went into certain lands and they would stand upon a mountain and build an altar, and at that point they can pray to the Lord. That's what we do. We're doing all over this land. All right, preparing altars or places for worship, to worship Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, where 2 or 3 are gathered in his name. So therefore will I number you to the sword. See, 2/3 gonna be numbered. But the Lord said, what? The elect, they're going to be required from amongst the number of these heathens, from amongst the dead. But 2/3, they're going to be numbered to the sword. What's that? Death penalty. And ye shall all bow down to the slaughter. That's Revelations, Romans 11:7. They shall bow down their back all way. I don't care if they try to act like they in the truth. Look at Tazariak. He bowed down during the lockdowns. So they're going to do it again. And it's all due to their doctrine too. That's leading them down these dark paths. Leading them to go astray. Because when I called, ye did not answer. See, the call is going out in the night. All right. So the call is going out in the night. And it's going into the day. The birds are chirping. And it's time for deliverance, time for the righteous to spring up. But the elect, the heathens, or 2/3 are going to be numbered to the sword. Because when the Lord called, Proverbs 1, his wisdom cried without in the streets, ye did not answer. When I spake, ye did not hear, right? Because they're not of the Lord's sheepfold. But did evil before mine eyes, and did choose that wherein I delighted not. See, the Lord saying, do things in his sight that he loves. He's saying, yo, let him see you. Calling on his name, doing the work. Do it for him. But they choose to do it for the world. Like Denzel said, before computers and internet, people only had to impress one person that was standing in front of them. I only got to get this person to like me. And if they don't like me, I'll get somebody else to, you know. But now they got billions of people that's on the internet, and they trying to get everybody to like them. So when the conscious doesn't like you, it's like all collective. That's that new world order mindset. One world conscience. Something happens on the internet, everybody feels it. You know? So it says what? But they did evil before the Lord's eyes, man. And did choose that wherein I delighted not. So they chose the world. And chose their own way instead of choosing the Lord's way. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh, behold, my servants shall eat. There you go. The servants that he sent into the world, they're going to eat. But ye shall be hungry. 2/3. And hunger goes into malnutrition and ultimately dying of hunger. And through that hunger, they can be controlled through fear by Esau. Behold, my servants shall drink when we're thirsty. You can't just eat without any fluid. We're going to need fluid. The Lord said what? His servants shall drink. But ye shall be thirsty. Behold, you'll be thirsty, that dry tongue, dry throat, thirsty. No, all the businesses closed. They can't go get that death in a bottle that they call Gatorade and Coca-Cola. Right? My servants shall rejoice. There you go. You're going to be married and have abundance. You're going to rejoice. Why? Because the Lord going to manifest his power here in the matrix, man. But ye shall be ashamed, man. See, they're going to be ashamed by the path that they've chosen. So that's why when I deal with people, I deal with them in a future sense, meaning it's already happened in my mind. That's why Yahweh Shai said the kingdom is already prepared. And he was saying that to us. It's already written. So you should have full confidence in any human being that you talk to. The only power they have is the present. To bluff you, to manipulate you in front of you, or manipulate their shame in front of you, saying, I'm not ashamed, I'm good. Yeah, we good, man. You should be like us. We got my job. Well, the dollars are crashing. Behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, man. Think about that. Are you singing for joy of heart right now? Like singing in your spirit for joy of heart. There's so much joy gonna be in your mind. One of y'all might be singing out here like Gerald Levert in that day. You'll be so happy. Crooning. But no, what it means is you're gonna be praising the Lord for joy of heart, man. The joy that's gonna be in your mind. All right. But ye shall cry for sorrow of heart. See, 2/3 gonna cry in these heathens, especially in these suburbs. They're gonna cry for sorrow of mind. That's hell. Where the things around them are gonna affect their mind and cause them to break down. And shall howl for vexation of spirit, man. It's gonna reach to their soul, that inner being. They're gonna be crying out lamentations, you know, or lamenting for the deaf that's gonna be out here in the streets, for the loss that they're gonna have, the rich that's gonna become poor in one day or a week, and with no answers. This place gonna be a desert. As far as help, all right. And ye shall lead. Okay, so now I'm gonna get to the point. All right, so we're in the time of prophecy. The sown places are appearing unsown. That's what they're talking about food insecurities now. All right, food is not showing up at the docks, or it shows up in containers and it's not being moved to the stores because the globalists are telling them not to, or they don't have enough resources to deliver the food or to receive the food. There's a shutdown happening. The prices are too high. They said the rent is too damn high. Second Ezra 6 and 22, and this is Yahushua that appeared to Ezra. All right, and first it was the angel Uriel, but then Yahushua stepped in. Once you understand Second Ezra chapter 6, and spoke to Ezra. Now, this is Ezra chapter 6, verse 22, second Ezra. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. All right. So all the grocery stores shelved, all the Walmart everyday low prices. Now they putting that GMO out on the shelves, man. Rationings. You know, bag of chips full of air. And cereals not even full to the brim anymore. And the vegetables, the prices are going up, or they spraying it with chemicals to where by the time you get it to your refrigerator, it looks all deteriorated. Just like in Venezuela, they was selling old meat because of the financial crisis. You know. So when you go to the store and they say, hey, this meat was sell by this date, well, they're gonna push that date back. And they're gonna say sell by this date, but you can eat it if you want to. People gonna be buying that. All right, so Second Ezra 6 and 22, and suddenly, black swan event. Shall the sown places appear unsown? All right, when you sow means to plant a seed. So all their foundations, all of their deposits, all of their food that was getting distributed here in America, is going to stop. For the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. And the storehouses represent their factories, their warehouses, or the docks where the stuff comes in at, the food, their farms, the distribution centers. Then it's going to trickle down to the stores. The stores, they can be deceiving because they stock up for enough for a week or 3 days. If I used to be a truck driver, and we know that in a famine, it only takes 3 days for the shelves to be clean. Really, it takes one nowadays. But then they got backstock. After that backstock is gone, they still have a delivery. After that delivery is gone, that's it. You know, if them trucks don't come in, if the cavalry doesn't show up, that's a wrap. And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall suddenly be afraid, man. All right, so the scripture say, man, shall the trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? All right, that goes into alarm. And at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies. And they're gonna envy you. They're going to want to fight you too over the food and the lack of bread. And the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The whole earth, there was a global food crisis. And the springs of the fountains shall stand still, and in 3 hours shall they run. Whosoever remaineth from all these that I have told thee shall escape, man. All right, shall be delivered. So he's saying, if you make it through that, by that time, the Lord gonna give spiritual power, spiritual protection. In Psalms 91, protection by His holy angels. And he's like, you good from that point. Right now, we're set in a dangerous place to fall, and we have to go through the affliction to get to that protection. All right, so then shall it be known who are my chosen. So we gotta get to a certain point, stick that pinky toe over the finish line. All right, whosoever remaineth from all these that I have told thee shall escape and see my salvation. All right, but you got some that are going to die in this truth as well, and they're going to see the salvation from a different angle, meaning being delivered from death and being brought back with Yahushua in the chariots. But to be alive and see the salvation, man, that's what we're all praying for. That the Lord keep us alive and we see His salvation, the whole story, and experience it. All right. And the men, that's all I can, shall see my salvation and the end of your world. So we're going to see the end of Esau's world, man. And the men that are received shall see it, who have not tasted death from their birth. See, they're going to be alive to see everything. And the heart of the inhabitants shall be changed and turned into another meaning, man. So the elect are going to be changed and turned into what? What you would call supermen. On the level of King David when he was in the flesh on this earth. On the level of Elijah, Elisha, Paul, Samson, All right, so in Daniel, in the lion's den, Moses, who was made a god in the sight of men because the Lord was protecting him and showing His powers and wonders through and around Moses. All right, so the same thing going to happen with His elect, wherever they're scattered at, whatever holes and nooks and crannies they're pushed into. Well, the Lord said He's bringing them out from that, out of darkness into the light. And in that light, the Lord's going to fortify us. Like a strong tower, causing the elect to be as that strong tower, whose name is written upon them is going to be Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua. All right, fortify us. The way the Lord made Jeremiah, He said, today I make thee a defensed city. All right. And the men that are received shall see it, who have not tasted death from their birth, and the heart of the inhabitants shall be changed and turned into another meaning. So the elect on this earth are going to receive that spiritual power first. The elect that are in heaven, they're going to receive their new bodies first. For evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched. So evil is going to be put out, and deceit is going to be quenched, man. As for faith, it shall flourish. Corruption shall be overcome. right? And the truth, which have been so long without fruit, shall be declared, man. That means all the rest of the Israelite Gentiles are going to be brought into the truth before the day of destruction. And we're going to be as numbered as a portion of the sands of the sea upon this earth. Innumerable number of elect. But starting with the 144. So we're going to be declared. And when he talked with me, behold, I looked by little and little upon him before whom I stood. So he was peeking, looking at Yahushua. Just like John, the Revelator, when he looked at Yahushua. And these words said he unto me, I am come to show thee the time of the night to come. And we in the night right now. All right. And that's why when Yahushua was on the earth, he told everybody, he said, the night is coming. All right. It's going into the nighttime. When Yahushua is not here, it's nighttime. When he's here, it's daytime. You know, the sun is shining. But even though the clouds are in the way, and it's nighttime, the sun is always out there shining. All right. So he said, I've come to show thee of the time of the night to come. And that's what we're going into, according to Psalms 91, into the night. But the elect are going to be protected and preserved from the coming famine, the destruction, the sword, and Yahweh Ratazah, even death, to be able to see his salvation all the way from your birth. Since you was a child, you've been witnessing the Lord's salvation in your life, delivering you from yourself, bringing you out of darkness, delivering you from the lies of your family and these churches, bringing you from the bottom of the damn pit like the fucking Titans and shit. That's right, man. So now he brought us to the top of the mountain, to where we're not under the ceiling. We're on top of the ceiling now. We're on top of the rooftop where we can call out to the Lord and send our SOS. And he said, let me see thy beautiful face, man. You know. So with that, I'm going to end it. And hopefully this was edifying and encouraging to any believers out there. Shalom.